Cheers, everybody. A little home brew. That's that extract session. It's getting better with age, just like me. Right now I have actually 3 beers fermenting. I've got the mild that I started last time. I racked that over to secondary. Long story about that, but it's really looking good. It's nice and clear. It's got a real red, a reddish brown, kind of a mahogany. It's beautiful. It's probably the prettiest beer I've made, I think, to date. And it tastes very light. It's not bursting with flavor, but it's a mild. So it's a mild in every sense of the word. I also have I made a basic ale last night. I don't usually brew at night, but I started, I guess, probably 7:30 or so in the evening, and it was an extract, but I just wanted to, keep some beer in the pipeline. You know how that goes. And so I used some light LME, a pound of Munich, and a little bit of Malto-Dextrin, which I do with extracts just to, keep them beefy and real nice and easy. The thing about it is that I took my mild and I, at the same time I racked it over, going back to the mild now, racked it over to secondary. Well, I racked it off of the yeast cake, but the basic that I made last night, I put right on top of the yeast cake. Within 5 hours, it was bubbling. And I did something I've never done. Is I let a beer cool because it was like 27 degrees outside. What is that? 2 degrees, minus 2 degrees Celsius, something like that. 2 to 3 degrees. So I just let it sit outside. First thing I tried to do, completely unsuccessful, and maybe you guys know this and I don't. I'm the only guy who knows this. But we've had a lot of snow in this area. It's kind of crazy because this is considered the South, and normally we don't get this much snow in the United States in the South, and so we have all kinds of snow. So I said I'm just going to use the snow to cool off my my boiling pot once I get everything boiled. And so I'm referring to my basic ale that I did last night. So I dug a big hole in the snow and put the kettle down. It dropped like 30 degrees, and I'm not kidding, like an hour and a half later it had not dropped very much. People in the north probably know better than that. Snow is, I think it's mostly air. That's why it's white, and it makes a great insulator. Well, all I was doing was putting the boiling kettle down in the snow, which is cold to me and to you, but it acted as an insulator. I'm thinking, the same theory with Eskimos and igloos and all that, right? So I took it out and I said, I'm an idiot. So I just took it out and put it on the porch in the 27-degree weather, and just let the temperature fall. It was like 9:30 when I got finished or something. So I just let it fall. Next morning I got up and it was cooled down enough, and I pitched it right on top of the yeast cake of my mild. And 5 hours later that thing was bubbling. So it's doing really great. Today, my third one. So I have my mild as my first one. The basic one I made, extract, keep beer in the pipeline. That was last night. This morning, got up early, and I brewed a SMaSH beer, which is the SMaSH is the single malt is Marris Otter, and the hop is Zythos. And I'm really looking to see how it turned out. Now, I didn't use any other ingredients except those ingredients, water, hops, and I used USO5 yeast. That's all I used. I didn't use any yeast energizer. I didn't use any whirlflock for clarity. Nothing like that. And everything went great. I'm still brewing, I'm still doing my mash in the bag technique, mainly because I actually have a conventional mash tun now, but I need to get a hot liquor tank to work with it. And I didn't want to enter, this is a contest beer. This is the SMaSH beer that I made. It's a contest beer in a club that I'm in called Seven Cities Brewers. And the local, and I gotta give them a plug, but the local homebrew shop, Homebrew USA in Norfolk, actually sponsored it. And all of our stuff for this competition was provided by them free. So I went in there, we all get our hops, we all get our US-05 yeast and 10 pounds of whatever grain it is. Now everyone in the, everyone who's participating in the club gets a different grain, different hops. And so they make their combinations, and so we're gonna have a little contest. And our turn-in date, I think, is, I'm recording this right now, March 1st. Our turn-in date on the, turning in our bottles is April, it's the second Thursday in April. So this is going to be a lot of fun. My thing went without a hitch. I mean, I just, everything, the mash, I think I sparged twice. I was supposed to hit 1.052, and I ended up hitting 1.058 for my original gravity. I think it's because I mash a little higher than most people. I think my ABV is probably going to be a little bit lower because it's not, my final gravity is not going to be as low as most others. But I'm going to have a good, it's going to have a good mouth feel. I'm going to bottle this probably with 1 ounce per gallon priming sugar. I'm going to batch prime. I'm going to have the carbonation up there a little bit because it's basically an IPA, because I think there was like 3.5 ounces of Zythos to the 19 liters of the 5 gallons. So anyway, hats off to Homebrew USA. That's just awesome of them to do that. And so anyway, and learned a lesson about last night about cooling stuff off. But it does have, the cooling off thing, back to the cooling off the boil kettle. It does have something to do with melting. And I started thinking about how people make ice cream. They put the ice in there. And what do? You put salt on it, right? To make the ice melt. Well, somehow that melting, and I don't know how it works. I'm sure some of you probably do. But that process of melting draws the heat out from whatever is in the center. Now this is what I did today. So last night I did the snowpack, it didn't work, and then I just set it out there all night long, and then it finally worked. Today I took my big container that I usually put ice in, and I put snow in, and I put water in it. And the snow here is it's like ice. It's basically ice is what it is. So I put ice and water, and that thing dropped, the temperature dropped within a half hour. I was able to pitch my yeast. So it does have something to do with that. But anyway, just a little update. Not a big one, not a big, I think I have some brew day footage, and just brief, but happy brewing to everybody. Thanks Homebrew 60 or Homebrew USA. Thank you Homebrew USA for sponsoring this SMaSH off, and I'll keep you abreast of all three. The mild is looking good, the basic is bubbling really well, and the SMaSH is doing well. So now I have about 60 liters of beer in my dining room fermenting right now. So hopefully the preacher doesn't come over. Anyway, cheers to everybody. Happy brewing to you.